Hello friends, this video presents crystal clear detailed views of the Khajuraho Group of Temples in Ultra HD 4K quality. The Khajuraho Group of Temples are a group of Hindu and Jain temples in Chhatarpur district, Madhya Pradesh, India. The temples are famous for their Nagara-style architectural symbolism and beautifully decorated erotic sculptures. Most Khajuraho temples are built between 885 CE and 1000 CE by the Chandela dynasty. Historical records note that the Khajuraho temple site had originally 85 temples by the 12th century, spread over 20 square kilometers. But of these, only about 25 temples have been survived during over the passage of time. The surviving temples spread over 6 square kilometers. And of the surviving temples, the Kandariya Mahadeva Temple is decorated with a profusion of sculptures with intricate details, symbolism, and expressiveness of ancient Indian art. The temple complex was forgotten and overgrown by the jungle until 1838, when Captain T.S. Burt, a British engineer, visited the complex and reported his findings in the Journal of the Asiatic Society of Bengal. When these monuments are built, the boys in the place lived in hermitages and by being brahmacharyas until they attained manhood, and these sculptures helped them to learn about the worldly role of householder. The Khajuraho group of temples are built together but are dedicated to only two religions, Hinduism and Jainism, suggesting a tradition of acceptance and respect for diverse religious views among Hindus and Jains in the region. And because of their outstanding architecture, diverse temple forms, and testimony to the Chandela civilization, the monuments or the temples at Khajuraho are inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1986. The name Khajuraho is derived from ancient Sanskrit. Khajura means date palm. Local legends state that the temples had two golden date palm trees as their gate, and the name originated from this. The Khajuraho temples are located about 620 kilometers from Delhi in a small town as named Khajuraho. The monuments are about 10 kilometers of the east-west National Highway 75 and about 50 kilometers from the city of Chhatarpur. The Khajuraho Group of Monuments was built during the rule of Chandela dynasty. The building activity started almost immediately after the rise of their power throughout their kingdom, to be later known as Bundelkhand. Most temples are built during the reigns of the Hindu king Jashovarman and Dhanga. Jashovarman's legacy is best exhibited by the Lakshmana Temple. Vishwanatha Temple is best highlights King Dhanga's region. The largest and currently most famous surviving temple is Kandariya Mahadeva built in the region of King Vidyadhara. The temple inscriptions suggest many of the currently surviving temples are complete between 970 and 1030 CE, with further temples completed during the following decades. The Khajuraho temples are built about 35 miles from the medieval city of Mohoba. The first documented mention of Khajuraho was made in 641 by a Chinese pilgrim who described encountering several dozen inactive Buddhist monasteries and a dozen Hindu temples with thousands worshipping Brahmins. In 1022 CE, Khajuraho was mentioned by Abu Rihan al-Biruni, the Persian historian who accompanied Mahmud of Ghazni in his raid of Kalinjar. He mentions Khajuraho as the capital of Jajahuti. The raid was unsuccessful and a peace accord was reached when the Hindu king agreed to pay a ransom to Mahmud of Ghazni to end the attack and leave. Khajuraho temples are in active use through the end of 12th century. This changed in the 13th century after the army of Delhi Sultanate under the command of Sultan Qutbuddin Aibak. After a century later, Ibn Battuta, the Moroccan traveller, in his memoirs about his stay in India from 1335 to 1342 CE, mentioned visiting Khajuraho temples, calling them Kajara. Hence, the Khajuraho temples has a long, rich history, and recently I visited and documented all the surviving temples, both in photography and videography. I request you all to subscribe my channel to watch such video more in future. Thank you.